We've all heard it since we were kids, haven't we? Eat your vegetables, they're always good for you. It's been drilled into us by doctors, school teachers, even our own parents. But here's something most people never see coming. What if that advice isn't always right, especially after 60? You see, while vegetables are packed with nutrients, some of the very ones you may be eating regularly might now be silently working against your body. That's not scare talk, that's biology. Think about this. Your body after 60 isn't the same as it was at 30 or 40. Your metabolism slows down. Digestion becomes more delicate. Your kidneys don't filter as efficiently. And if you're on medication, like many older adults are, some of the foods you used to enjoy without a second thought might now be triggering bloating, joint pain, or even harming your kidneys without you realizing it. One of the most dangerous vegetables? It could be sitting right now in your fridge, wrapped up in a plastic bag, waiting to be part of your next healthy meal. It's shocking, I know, especially if you've spent your life trying to eat clean, follow the rules, and do what's best for your body. But the truth is, not every vegetable works for every stage of life. And after 60, our bodies demand a smarter, more tailored approach to food. I want to tell you a quick story. A woman I once worked with, let's call her Elaine, 72, had been eating a salad with 3 so-called superfoods every single day. She thought she was doing everything right, but for months she battled fatigue, achy joints, and random bloating. Turns out, 2 of those veggies were quietly triggering her symptoms. We swapped just one of them out, and within 2 weeks she told me, "I feel like I got a piece of myself back." And that's why this video matters. Because today I'm going to walk you through the 9 vegetables every senior should be cautious with, and in some cases, avoid completely. You'll learn what they are, why they may no longer serve your body, and most importantly, how to replace them with better options that nourish your kidneys, protect your joints, support digestion, and help you feel more energized and comfortable in your own body. This isn't just about what to avoid, it's about how to eat smarter so you can keep doing the things you love with the people you love for years to come. If you're over 60 or if you love someone who is, take this moment, click that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. What you'll learn here could make a difference, not just for how you feel today, but for how well you live tomorrow. Now take a breath, maybe even glance toward that fridge. You ready to find out what's been hiding in plain sight? Let's begin. The hidden dangers of healthy vegetables after 60. Not all vegetables are created equal, especially after 60. That may be hard to accept at first, especially if you've spent decades trying to eat right, adding color to your plate, and following every bit of healthy advice the experts gave you. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Some of the very vegetables that were once great for your body may now be quietly working against it. It's not that those foods changed, you did. And that's nothing to be ashamed of. It's simply the biology of aging. As our bodies mature, things shift. The same meal that left you feeling full and energized in your 40s might now leave you sluggish, bloated, or reaching for an extra cup of coffee just to stay alert. Let's walk through why that happens, and more importantly, how to recognize when a healthy food might not be healthy for you anymore. Let's start with medications. If you're like most seniors, chances are you take at least 1 or 2 prescriptions, maybe more. Blood pressure meds, blood thinners, diuretics, maybe something to help with cholesterol or blood sugar. Now here's the thing. Certain vegetables interact with those meds, not because they're bad in general, but because they contain compounds that can either intensify or block how your body processes medication. Garlic, for instance, can thin your blood even more. Dangerous if you're already on something like warfarin. And leafy greens high in vitamin K can throw off clotting meds if you're not careful. Then there's digestion. As we get older, our digestive enzymes naturally decrease. That means your gut has to work a lot harder to break down certain vegetable fibers like cellulose, oxalates, or resistant starches. Foods that used to move through you easily might now ferment in your gut, causing gas, cramping, or that uncomfortable bloated feeling you can't quite explain. Now let's talk kidneys. After 60, kidney filtration often slows, especially if you've had high blood pressure, diabetes, or are just genetically predisposed. Some vegetables, like spinach or beets, are extremely high in oxalates, and when your kidneys can't filter them effectively, those oxalates can crystallize, turning into kidney stones that cause severe pain or even long-term damage. And blood sugar, that's a big one. Many vegetables we assume are low-carb, like peas, corn, and even carrots, can actually cause sharp spikes in blood sugar, especially in larger portions. Why? Because your insulin sensitivity tends to decline as you age. That means your body doesn't process sugar as efficiently. What used to be a harmless side dish can now act more like a dessert in disguise, especially for those managing type 2 diabetes or pre-diabetes. There's another layer to all this that often gets overlooked. It's called inflammation. Some vegetables, particularly nightshades like tomatoes, peppers, and eggplant, contain compounds that may worsen joint pain, arthritis, or even autoimmune flare-ups in sensitive individuals. You might think your knee pain is just part of getting older, but what if your favorite veggie stir-fry is quietly fueling the fire? Here's the part that really hits home. What feels like fatigue, joint stiffness, indigestion, even brain fog after a meal might not just be age. It might be your dinner, that's right. Some of the discomforts you chalk up to getting older could actually be the result of eating the wrong foods for this stage of life. And until you know which ones to look out for, it's easy to stay stuck in that same frustrating cycle. So let me ask you a few quick questions. If you answer yes to any of these, this next part is especially for you. Do you have kidney issues or a history of high blood pressure? Do you live with joint pain, arthritis, or have experienced a gout flare-up? Are you currently taking blood thinners, diuretics, or medications for heart conditions? Do you manage your blood sugar or have been told you're pre-diabetic or diabetic? Do you often experience bloating, indigestion, or acid reflux, especially after eating? If even one of those sounds familiar, then the vegetables we're about to discuss deserve your full attention, because they may be affecting you more than you realize. This isn't about fear, it's about awareness. And once you know what to watch for and how to swap them for better options, you'll finally feel like your meals are working with your body, not against it. You ready? Let's get into the list. The 9 vegetables to avoid after 60: risks, symptoms, and safer options. Let's dive into the heart of this conversation. The vegetables that could be quietly sabotaging your health after 60. Remember, these foods aren't bad for everyone, but for seniors, they may bring hidden risks because of how your body processes food differently now. And the goal here isn't to scare you, it's to give you the knowledge to make better choices, protect your energy, and help you live stronger for longer. We'll go one by one. I'll explain what the risk is, what symptoms to look out for, who's most at risk, and what you can do instead. Take your time with each. If one stands out, that's a sign your body might be trying to tell you something. 1. Peas. The sweet little danger hiding in plain sight. Peas might seem innocent enough, right? They're tiny, sweet, and often tossed into salads, stews, or served as a side dish. But here's what most people don't know. Once you're over 60, peas can pack more of a punch than you'd expect. They have a high glycemic load, which means your body breaks them down quickly into sugar. For younger folks, that's not such a big deal. But for seniors with reduced insulin sensitivity, this can trigger sharp blood sugar spikes followed by fatigue or crashes later in the day. If you're managing diabetes or pre-diabetes, this is especially important. But that's not the only concern. Peas also contain purines, compounds that break down into uric acid. If too much uric acid builds up, it can settle into your joints, causing painful gout flares or contribute to kidney stones over time. And then there's digestion. Peas contain resistant starches and lectins, which are tough for the aging digestive system to break down. When your enzyme levels drop with age, these compounds can ferment in the gut, causing gas, bloating, or that sluggish, heavy feeling after meals. If you've been feeling unusually tired after dinner, if you're dealing with joint stiffness in your toes or knees, or you've been feeling bloated even when eating healthy, peas might be playing a bigger role than you think. Seniors with type 2 diabetes, gout, kidney issues, or sensitive digestion should be especially cautious. But you don't have to give them up forever. If you love peas, try cutting your portion in half. Steam them until they're soft to ease digestion, and don't combine them with other high sugar or starchy foods. You can also try switching to green beans or zucchini. Both are gentler on your blood sugar and your gut. And don't forget to drink water with your meal. It'll help your body process it all more smoothly. 2. Asparagus, the silent kidney strainer. Now this one might surprise you. Asparagus has a reputation for being a superfood. loaded with antioxidants, fiber, and vitamins. It's often recommended in heart-healthy and anti-aging diets, but for older adults, it carries a few silent risks that most people never hear about. Just like peas, asparagus contains purines. For seniors who are prone to joint pain, arthritis, or gout, these purines can contribute to inflammation behind the scenes, even if you don't notice it right away. But what really makes asparagus tricky is its diuretic effect. It makes you urinate more, which sounds good at first, kind of like a detox. But here's the problem. After 60, your body doesn't hold on to water the way it used to. Your thirst signals aren't as strong. And if you're already on a diuretic or blood pressure medication, asparagus can make dehydration worse without you even knowing it. Dehydration isn't just about feeling thirsty. It can show up as dry mouth, dizziness, stiff joints, confusion, even sudden fatigue after meals. And it puts extra pressure on your kidneys, which may already be overworked, especially if you've had high blood pressure or blood sugar issues in the past. If you've ever felt wiped out after a healthy meal that included asparagus, your body might be telling you it's too much. Seniors with kidney concerns, arthritis, gout, or anyone taking diuretics or blood pressure meds should pay extra attention to how asparagus affects them. But don't worry, you've got options. Instead of asparagus, try lightly steamed leafy greens or cooked carrots. If you really enjoy asparagus, have it with hydrating foods like cucumbers or pear slices, and always avoid salting it. Be sure to drink water before and after the meal, and notice how your body responds the next morning. And remember, just because something is labeled detoxifying doesn't mean it's detoxing you. Listen to your body and adjust as needed. You deserve food that fuels you, not drains you. Let me know when you're ready, and I'll continue with the next two vegetables. 3. Corn, the hidden sugar bomb wreaking havoc on seniors. Corn feels like an American classic, doesn't it? Corn on the cob at summer barbecues, popcorn at the movies, and corn syrup hiding in nearly every packaged snack on grocery shelves. But here's the part no one told you. Corn can become a major problem as we age, especially after 60. Let's start with what happens inside your body. Corn has a high glycemic index, which means it's rapidly converted into sugar in your bloodstream. That sugar spike might give you a short burst of energy, but soon after, your blood sugar crashes. And when that pattern repeats often enough, it can lead to long-term insulin resistance, energy slumps, and even worsen type 2 diabetes. Now here's something else most people don't notice. Corn is hard to digest. The outer layer of corn is made of cellulose, and your body doesn't produce the enzymes needed to break it down. So what happens? Corn can pass through your system undigested, leaving you bloated, gassy, or even constipated. If you've seen whole corn in your stool, that's a sign your digestion isn't breaking it down properly. And that's just the beginning. The majority of corn grown in the US today is genetically modified and sprayed with chemicals like glyphosate, a pesticide linked to gut microbiome disruption, oxidative stress, and even potential cognitive issues. Seniors are particularly vulnerable to this kind of toxic burden because the liver and kidneys process these chemicals more slowly with age. Processed corn-based foods like corn chips, cereal, tortillas, and corn syrup come with another issue: hidden sugars and omega-6 fats. These can silently drive up inflammation in your body, leading to joint pain, flare-ups of arthritis, and a higher risk of heart disease. You might notice brain fog, low energy after meals, or even aching joints that seem unrelated to anything you've done. But what if your corn-based meals are quietly working against you? If you're managing diabetes, metabolic syndrome, digestive issues, or inflammatory conditions, this is a food to reconsider. That doesn't mean you need to banish corn forever. If you love it, try switching to organic, non-GMO corn and eat it only in small amounts. Avoid the highly processed versions, especially anything with corn syrup. And if you do enjoy a corn dish, pair it with fiber-rich veggies or lean protein. That'll help slow down how fast it raises your blood sugar. And don't be afraid to explore alternatives. Butternut squash, sweet potatoes, or even quinoa can bring you that cozy, starchy satisfaction, with less blood sugar drama and more nourishment. 4. Mushrooms, the toxin magnet disguised as a superfood. Mushrooms get a lot of praise. They're rich in antioxidants, supportive of brain health, and low in calories. But behind that earthy, meaty texture is something most folks don't realize. Mushrooms are natural toxin absorbers, and if you're over 60, that can become a hidden threat. Here's how it works. Unlike many vegetables, mushrooms soak up what's in their environment. That means if they're grown in contaminated soil, and many commercial farms don't regulate this well, they may contain heavy metals like lead, arsenic, or cadmium. Over time, even small amounts of these toxins can accumulate in the body, and as we get older, our liver and kidneys slow down, making it harder to detox efficiently. Another concern is a compound called agaritine, which is found in higher levels in white button mushrooms, the ones most people eat raw in salads or only lightly cooked. Some studies suggest that agaritine, when consumed often or uncooked, may increase long-term health risks. That's especially concerning for older adults who eat mushrooms regularly, thinking they're a safe, healthy choice. And let's not forget the immune system. Mushrooms contain unique fungal proteins that can trigger allergic reactions, even if you've never been allergic before. As we age, our immune responses shift. What once felt fine may now cause skin irritation, bloating, joint pain, or fatigue. And the cause isn't always obvious. There's also something called chitin, a tough fibrous component in mushroom cell walls. Seniors with lower stomach acid or slower digestion may struggle to break this down. That's why you may feel bloated or sluggish after eating mushrooms, even if you prepared them simply. So, who should be cautious? If you've got reduced kidney or liver function, if you're managing food sensitivities, or if you've noticed weird symptoms after mushroom-heavy meals, your body might be giving you a clue, but you don't have to swear them off entirely. The safest way to enjoy mushrooms is cooked thoroughly. Roasting, sautéing, or boiling helps break down toxins and improves digestibility. Choose organic whenever possible to reduce your chemical exposure. And here's a simple experiment. If you've been eating mushrooms often, take a 2-week break. Notice if your digestion, skin, or energy improves. It might surprise you. If you're looking for something to replace that brain food role mushrooms often fill, try adding more leafy greens, avocados, walnuts, or omega-3 rich foods like wild salmon or flaxseed. These support memory and brain function without the hidden risks. Let me know when you're ready for the next 2. We're just getting into the vegetables most people really don't expect to see on this list. 5. Cabbage, the unexpected thyroid disruptor hiding in your kitchen. Cabbage has long been seen as a healthy go-to. It's affordable, full of fiber, and praised for supporting heart health and digestion. But here's something most people over 60 don't realize. This crunchy, cruciferous veggie could actually be throwing off your balance, especially if you have thyroid or gut issues. Let's slow this down and take a closer look together. Cabbage belongs to the same family as broccoli and Brussels sprouts, and like its cousins, it contains compounds called goitrogens. These interfere with your body's ability to absorb iodine, which is essential for making thyroid hormones. And for seniors with already sluggish thyroids, even small amounts of uncooked cabbage can tip the scale, leading to fatigue, mental fog, and cold sensitivity. But that's not all. Cabbage also contains a complex sugar called raffinose. Your body has a harder time breaking it down as you age because digestive enzymes naturally decline. That raffinose ends up fermenting in your gut, creating excess gas, bloating, and cramping. So if you've noticed your stomach puffing out after that healthy cabbage slaw, you're not imagining things. Raw or lightly cooked cabbage tends to be the biggest trigger, especially if you're also dealing with IBS, acid reflux, or chronic bloating. And the symptoms? They're often brushed off as normal aging, when in reality it might just be your body's way of asking for a different approach. Now, if you've been dealing with thyroid concerns, digestive discomfort, or that lingering sense of fatigue, you're exactly who this message is for. But don't worry, you don't have to cut cabbage out completely. There's a smarter way to enjoy it. Cook it thoroughly. Boiling, steaming, or sautéing helps reduce both goitrogens and the difficult sugars. Fermented cabbage is an even better option. Sauerkraut or kimchi in moderation can actually help your gut by introducing probiotics. They're easier on digestion and still give you that crunch without the chaos. If you eat cabbage regularly, also check that you're getting enough iodine through iodized salt, seaweed, or supplements, if your doctor recommends them. And finally, when adding cabbage to a meal, pair it with gentle, gut-soothing options, like carrots, white rice, or zucchini, to help balance things out. Small changes like these can make a huge difference in how you feel after meals, and how well your thyroid supports you day to day. 6. Eggplant, the inflammation fueler. You might be overlooking Eggplant has a reputation for being both healthy and versatile. From Mediterranean ratatouille to grilled slices on a sandwich, it's celebrated for its low-calorie content and its rich, savory texture. But what many people don't know is this: eggplant belongs to the nightshade family, and for older adults with joint pain, kidney issues, or digestion troubles, it can stir up more problems than benefits. Eggplant contains a natural chemical called solanine. In some people, especially those with arthritis, gout, or autoimmune conditions, solanine can trigger or worsen inflammation. So if your knees ache a little more after that eggplant parmesan, it might not be coincidence. And there's more. Eggplant is also high in oxalates, compounds that, in excess, can contribute to kidney stone formation. Seniors already dealing with reduced kidney function or past stone episodes should take special care here. Even its physical makeup can be an issue. The skin is thick, the seeds are small but dense, and both can irritate a sensitive digestive tract, especially for those prone to acid reflux, indigestion, or GERD. Some seniors even develop mild allergic reactions to eggplant, tingling in the mouth, bloating, or skin rashes that show up without a clear cause. These symptoms can be so subtle that people chalk them up to aging, but your body might be quietly signaling a food intolerance. If you've ever experienced mysterious swelling in your fingers, post-meal fatigue, or bloating after eggplant-based dishes, it's time to pause and observe. But don't worry, eggplant doesn't have to be off the table forever. There are simple ways to enjoy it more safely. Always cook eggplant thoroughly. Roasting or stewing helps break down solanine and softens its texture. Peeling the skin can reduce digestive strain, especially if you're sensitive. And here's a classic trick. Sprinkle the slices with salt. Let them sit for 15 minutes, then rinse and cook. This draws out bitterness and improves texture, making it easier to digest. Still feel discomfort afterward? You might want to swap eggplant with friendlier veggies like zucchini, steamed carrots, or yellow squash. They're gentle on the gut and free from the solanine load. And remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about learning how your body responds and making small, wiser choices that help you feel better, move better, and live with more ease. Let me know when you're ready to move on to the next two. We're getting closer to the most surprising vegetables on the list. 7. Potatoes. The comfort food that spikes blood sugar and ages you faster. Let's talk about one of the most familiar foods on your plate. The potato, whether it's mashed, fried, baked, or crisped into golden hash browns. Potatoes have long been considered the ultimate comfort food. But here's the truth most people over 60 rarely hear. This humble favorite could be silently working against you. Potatoes have an extremely high glycemic index. That means the starch in them quickly breaks down into sugar once you eat it, spiking your blood sugar fast. And what happens next? Your energy crashes. You feel foggy, drained, maybe even a little cranky. Then you start craving more carbs again, and the cycle repeats. Over time, these sugar surges wear your body down. They can lead to increased belly fat, worsen insulin resistance, and heighten your risk of type 2 diabetes, especially if your body's already struggling to regulate blood sugar. Even if you're eating small portions, it may not be enough to stop the roller coaster. But it doesn't stop there. When potatoes are fried, think French fries, tater tots, or chips, they form a compound called acrylamide. This chemical has been linked to oxidative stress and inflammation, which can put pressure on your joints, slow your healing, and even increase long-term cancer risk. You might be noticing it already. Stiff joints after meals, unexplained weight gain, higher A1C numbers, or just feeling off. And yet so many seniors continue eating potatoes every day without realizing what's really happening underneath the surface. So if you have diabetes, metabolic syndrome, nerve pain, or inflammatory issues like arthritis, this warning is especially for you. Now don't worry, you don't have to say goodbye to potatoes forever. It's about making smarter swaps. Try sweet potatoes instead. They're rich in fiber, full of antioxidants, and have a lower glycemic index, so they digest more slowly and steadily. And if you're sticking with white potatoes, keep the skin on. It contains most of the fiber. Choose boiled or baked instead of fried. Keep your portions modest and pair them with lean protein and fiber, like grilled chicken or spinach, to help blunt the sugar spike. Just a few small adjustments can turn this classic comfort food into something that truly supports your long-term health. 8. Spinach, the superfood that could be damaging your kidneys. Spinach. the shining star of every green smoothie and salad bowl. It's been praised as one of the healthiest vegetables out there, and for good reason. It's packed with iron, vitamin K, folate, and antioxidants. But here's a surprising twist, especially for older adults. Spinach is one of the highest oxalate-containing vegetables. Oxalates are natural compounds found in certain plants that, when consumed in large amounts, bind with calcium in your kidneys. The result? They can form calcium oxalate kidney stones. Painful, hard to pass, and more common than you think. As we get older, kidney function often declines without us even realizing it. Dehydration becomes more likely, and that's the perfect storm for oxalate buildup. And there's another problem. High oxalate intake can actually block calcium from being properly absorbed, weakening your bones at a time when osteoporosis and fractures are already a concern. If you're eating spinach raw, in salads, smoothies, or even green juices, your risk increases. It might seem like a healthy habit, but your kidneys could be paying the price behind the scenes. Common symptoms to look out for? You might feel tired or achy. You may notice pain around your kidneys, or maybe you've dealt with urinary discomfort and didn't know why. And here's the kicker. Many seniors mistake these warning signs for just getting older, when food might actually be a hidden factor. Now, this doesn't mean you have to ban spinach from your plate forever. If you love it, you can still enjoy it. Just cook it first. Boiling or steaming spinach helps reduce its oxalate levels significantly. That simple step alone can make a huge difference. Also, try not to eat spinach every single day, and especially not raw. Mix things up with lower oxalate greens like arugula, romaine, or butter lettuce. And if you are eating spinach, pair it with calcium-rich foods like plain yogurt, cheese, or fortified plant milks. That combination helps bind the oxalates and limit their absorption. So if kidney stones have ever been part of your history, or your doctor has mentioned bone loss or weak kidneys, this is a vegetable to approach with more mindfulness. You don't have to avoid it. You just need to be smart about how you prepare and balance it. Ready to keep going? The last vegetable on our list is one you likely have in your fridge right now, and it might be causing more discomfort than you realize. Let me know when you're set to continue. 9. Kale, the not-so-superfood. Kale has taken the spotlight in recent years as the ultimate superfood. From smoothies to salads to trendy kale chips, it's often seen as the crown jewel of healthy eating. But for older adults, kale might not be the hero it's made out to be. Just like spinach, kale is loaded with oxalates, and that's where the trouble begins. Oxalates are tiny compounds that can bind with calcium in your kidneys, increasing the risk of developing painful kidney stones. And here's the thing. The risk rises as we age, especially when hydration levels drop or kidney function slows down without obvious symptoms, but that's not the only issue. Kale is also a cruciferous vegetable, which means it contains goitrogens, natural substances that interfere with how your body absorbs iodine. Iodine is critical for making thyroid hormones, which help regulate your metabolism, energy, and even mood. If you've ever felt unusually cold, foggy, or exhausted, even with a seemingly healthy diet, too much raw kale might be part of the problem. This becomes even more concerning for older adults already managing a sluggish thyroid or those taking medication for hypothyroidism. And while kale juices and green smoothies might look nutritious, they often pack in raw kale in high volumes, which can overwhelm your system with anti-nutrients that your body can't process as efficiently anymore. You might not even realize it's affecting you. Maybe it's a nagging fatigue you can't shake. Maybe your lab work hints at thyroid imbalance or early signs of kidney strain. Or maybe your digestion just hasn't felt right since you started chasing more clean eating trends. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone, and you're not doing anything wrong. But there's a better way to enjoy kale without overloading your body. Cook it. That simple step, lightly steaming or sautéing your kale, reduces both oxalates and goitrogens, making it much easier for your body to tolerate. You still get the nutrients without the silent stress on your kidneys or thyroid. And instead of relying on kale daily, try rotating in low-oxalate, non-goitrogenic greens like romaine, arugula, or butter lettuce. They're gentle on your system and still full of goodness. Lastly, if you enjoy kale often, make sure you're also supporting your thyroid with iodine-rich foods like seaweed, iodized salt, or organic eggs, especially if you're avoiding seafood. Let your greens work with your body, not against it. Ready to bring it all together? Let's move into the final chapter and talk about what all of this means for your next trip to the kitchen. Smart swaps, safe pairings, and senior-friendly eating strategies. Now that we've walked through the vegetables to be cautious about, let's shift to something even more important. The empowering part. The part where we talk about what you can do, what you can eat, and how you can take back control without feeling like you've lost your freedom in the kitchen. If you've been thinking, well, now what do I eat? Don't worry, you're not alone, and you are absolutely not stuck. Let's walk through some simple swaps, smart food pairings, and prep techniques that can help you eat in a way that supports your kidneys, digestion, blood pressure, and energy, not fight against them. First up, let's talk smart swaps. If white potatoes are a regular guest on your plate, try substituting them with sweet potatoes or even a comforting cauliflower mash. Sweet potatoes offer more fiber, a lower glycemic impact, and natural anti-inflammatory compounds that support joint and immune health. If you've been eating raw spinach or kale every single day, it might be time to switch it up with gentler greens like steamed arugula or butter lettuce. These are easier on your kidneys, and they don't carry the same oxalate load. Miss peas and corn, zucchini and green beans make excellent replacements. They're lighter on digestion and help keep your blood sugar steady instead of swinging. And if mushrooms or eggplant tend to upset your stomach, or you've been having unexplained rashes or joint pain, try cooked mushrooms or sliced avocado in place of raw fungi. For eggplant and bell pepper lovers, steamed carrots, zucchini, or even red cabbage can give you that color and texture without the inflammation triggers. Now let's talk combinations, because it's not just what you eat, it's what you eat together. Here are a few surprising combos to steer clear of. Raw carrots and cucumbers. Most people think they're a power salad duo, but the enzyme in raw carrots can destroy the vitamin C in cucumbers. That's a nutrient you need more than ever after 60 to support your immune system and wound healing. Cucumber and banana smoothies, both are rich in potassium, great on their own, but together, they can overload your kidneys, especially if you're on medication or already managing kidney function. Pickles and salty snacks like crackers or deli meats. That's a double sodium hit. Your blood pressure can spike without you even noticing it until the symptoms show up days later. Now, the good news, there are brilliant combinations you can lean into. Cucumber with pear is a gentle, natural way to support healthy digestion. You get the perfect blend of soluble and insoluble fiber, which keeps everything moving and reduces bloating. Cucumber with apple, that's a potassium pectin powerhouse. Apples help lower cholesterol, and cucumbers support hydration and circulation. Together, they're a heart-smart duo. Want to absorb more nutrients from your food? Try pairing cucumber slices with a splash of apple cider vinegar. It boosts digestive enzymes and helps your gut take in more vitamins from every bite. Let's shift to how you prep your food. This is where so many seniors struggle, because raw might feel easy, but it's not always gentle. When possible, steam, boil, or roast instead of eating raw or fried. This helps break down tough fibers, neutralize anti-nutrients like oxalates and goitrogens, and make your meals easier to absorb. Remove thick skins and seeds from vegetables like eggplant or bell pepper if you've got a sensitive stomach or acid reflux. And if you're marinating veggies, try using lemon juice or apple cider vinegar. They not only add flavor but also help your body absorb calcium and other minerals. Now let's talk timing, especially if you're taking medications. Try to keep a 2-hour window between eating high-potassium foods like spinach, bananas, or cucumbers and taking blood pressure or kidney-related medications. This gives your body time to process each one without interaction. If you're taking blood thinners, be aware of vegetables high in vitamin K, like kale, spinach, and chard. Don't eliminate them completely, but keep your intake consistent and have a conversation with your doctor. Your medication may need a gentle adjustment, not a total overhaul of your meals. Last but not least, hydration. Seniors often underestimate how much water they need. By the time you feel thirsty, your body may already be dehydrated. That can lead to joint pain, dizziness, and digestive slowdowns. So here's a simple idea. Add a few slices of cucumber or a sprig of mint to your water. It's refreshing and helps signal your body to absorb water more efficiently. After meals, try sipping ginger tea or chewing a few fennel seeds to ease bloating and support digestion. And finally, instead of eating large, heavy meals, try smaller ones more frequently throughout the day. This reduces digestive strain and helps keep your energy more consistent. You see, it's not about giving up the foods you love. It's about adapting, gently, wisely, and with purpose. Because after 60, your body speaks a little differently, and now you know how to listen. You can thrive with clarity, confidence, and calm. And I'm here to walk that road with you. So if you haven't yet, subscribe to this channel and hit that little bell so you never miss what's coming next. Because every video is designed to help you stay stronger, sharper, and more independent for as long as possible. You're doing an amazing job just by being here. Stay strong, stay smart, and I'll see you in the next video.